Moments away from kickoff here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's hot, 86 degrees. Wind at 11 miles per hour. Throughout the course of the afternoon, there's a chance the wind picks up and even a little bit of rain could come in. Those are remnants of Hurricane Florence. Bill O'Brien, 5th season as Houston head coach. Last time he started 0-2. Texans went on to win the division, and Mike Vrabel looking for his first win as Tennessee head coach, going against his former team. Spent the last 4 seasons as part of the Houston coaching staff. Tennessee won the toss, and they have deferred. How big is this game? Well, since 1990, only 12% of teams that start 0-2 go on to make the playoffs. One team did it last year, the New Orleans Saints. So, James, with Houston getting the football first, we're going to have to wait even longer to see who will be the Titans quarterback today. As we mentioned in our open a few minutes ago, we expect it to be Blaine Gabbert based on what we saw with Marcus Mariota in warm-ups, not really throwing any meaningful passes, took very few reps. But again, the Titans have not announced who will start at quarterback, so the wait continues. Ryan Succop will kick it away, and Tyler Ervin is back deep to receive it for Houston. It's week 2 of the NFL on CBS. We're underway in Nashville, and it will be a touchback. Out comes Deshaun Watson. As we told you, called his performance last week in New England, quote, terrible. You see his numbers, just a 50% completion percentage, the worst of his young NFL career. Had a monster game at home against the Titans last year, accounting for 5 total touchdowns.
I think even going beyond that 50% that he completed, third downs and red zone were also areas where they just weren't up to par.
On first down, it's Lamar Miller getting the first touch today, and he is pushed back. Wesley Woodyard flying up to the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. We mentioned the change on the offensive line with Seantrell Henderson out for the year. Martinez Rankin, a 3rd-round pick out of Mississippi State, gets his first NFL start at left tackle. And Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins both listed as questionable for the game. They are both in the starting lineup. 3-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Watson pump fakes, now fires to Fuller, and Will Fuller has a Houston first down. Gain of 9 for the 3rd-year man out of Notre Dame.
Will Fuller is the type of receiver that when you match up against him and you're playing corner, you want to make sure your back pedal is in full effect because he can blow right by you.
Bill O'Brien, the head coach, so the play caller for Houston, likes to use tempo, wants to be efficient. We've seen Houston go without a huddle here on their opening drive. And some movement on the line of scrimmage. Today's referee is Pete Morelli.
False start, number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
That's on Julian Davenport, who is starting at right tackle today.
You know, when you weigh 330, 40 pounds, once you start your momentum, it's hard to pull back. You start leaning just a little bit before the snap, and you can't hold it back.
Bill O'Brien not happy on that Houston sideline. 1st and 15 following the penalty. Watson over the middle, incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins the intended target, and Malcolm Butler was all over him. And Deshaun Watson took a hit.
When you have a good front 7, and if you're Malcolm Butler, you realize that in the back end, you can cover your man one-on-one because your front 7 can take care of the run. And those RPOs are to attract the attention of the secondary. Can't let them do that to you.
On 2nd and 15, Miller on the left side, and he's hit out of bounds at the 35-yard line by Butler. It will be 3rd down and long for the Texans.
So you go back to first down when Davenport kind of stumbles out of a stance and you create a 1st and 15. You miss a short throw on 2nd down. Now this big 3rd down, 3rd 12. You've got to hold the ball a long time, and you're suspect a little bit at the tackle position, right on the outside, both guys. Tackle there, tackle up top. They're going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Texans were 2 for 11 on third downs last week in New England. Let's see what they do here. Pressure coming. Watson steps up, and he is taken down. Jarrell Casey trips him up, and Houston will send out the punter.
The pressure was instantaneous. As soon as Deshaun Watson got back, planted his back foot to stop his drop, he had to scramble up forward. He didn't even have time to scan downfield. He was just trying to escape the pocket and get positive yards if he could. Couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
And Jarrell Casey with his 40th career sack, now the 10th in franchise history to reach the 40-sack plateau. Adoree Jackson on the return from his own 15-yard line. And Jackson is taken down right there with 12:05 to go in the first quarter. And look who's coming out. It's Blaine Gabbert time in Nashville. Blaine Gabbert will start at quarterback for the Tennessee Titans today. Last week in a relief role after Marcus Mariota got hurt. He threw an interception in Miami. Last year with Arizona, he started 5 games, 6 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So Marcus Mariota is active, but the right elbow injury giving him problems on the fingers of his right throwing hand, so he will not start this game, and we have movement on the line.
His voice inflection is working well.
Neutral zone infraction, number 99 defense. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
J.J. Watt a little overexcited to go against this Tennessee offensive line. So first down and 5 following the penalty. And the Titans start on the ground with Derrick Henry, reverses field, and a nice run for Henry to pick up a Tennessee first down, a gain of 9.
This play starts to the left, but it's designed to start that way and then bend like a banana back to the right, so you get the linebackers flowing. Derrick Henry out in the open, and he's off to a much better start than he was last week.
Kevin Pamfield starts at left tackle, and Tyler Merritz makes his NFL debut at right tackle. As we told you, Dennis Kelly, who's their third tackle, is out today with an illness. So are Taylor Lewan and Jack Conklin. So Tennessee short-handed at offensive tackle, and this time Henry is pushed back. DJ Reader, one of the first to get there for the Texans. There's Romeo Crennel, his 37th year in the NFL. Christian Covington is out today with a thigh injury, so Angelo Blackson gets the start up front. And with no Devian Clowney, Duke Ejiofor, their 6th-round pick out of Wake Forest, will see a lot of time today. And Kareem Jackson, who made the move to safety in the offseason, is starting at cornerback today. That's because Kevin Johnson went on IR, so Jackson goes back to corner, and Justin Reed gets the start at safety.
Third down. We will now see Tennessee's plan to try and stop J.J. Watt, because you can't ask Matthias Lincoln to really block him one-on-one. He wasn't able to do it in the run game. In the pass game, you'd be putting your quarterback at pampered. And because he's been on both sides, he's been right side, he's also been left side, so he's moving up and down that offensive line.
So it's 3rd down and 7 for Blaine Gabbert and the Titans. Gabbert over the middle and incomplete. Nearly a great catch by Tajay Sharp. But instead, Tennessee will send out their punter, Brett Kern.
You talk about throwing the ball into a tight window. There must be 4 defenders in this area. One Tennessee Titan, and the ball's right on his hands. It would have been a great catch. He has it, he's moving it, and he's trying to get it tucked away. But right at that last moment, Kareem Jackson gets his hand in there and just pokes it out.
Blaine Gabbert has a great arm. That is not his issue, and you saw him show it off there. A fake! And wide open is Dane Cruikshank down the sideline for a touchdown! Kevin Byard threw it. Cruikshank with the score. And how about those tricky Titans here in the first quarter? A 66-yard touchdown.
Last week, the Titans had a 94-yard touchdown return on a kickoff. They gave up a kickoff return, but this is a big play, a difference maker, and they got the look they wanted. The gunner outside was uncovered. Once he was uncovered, just oiling up that arm and making sure you didn't throw it out of bounds.
Byard, the lefty, to the rookie Dane Cruikshank, a fifth-round pick out of Arizona. And the Titans pull an early surprise, and they take a 6-0 lead. Ryan Succop out for the extra point. And the kick is good. So Blaine Gabbert doesn't have a completion. Marcus Mariota's not even playing, but Kevin Byard with a touchdown pass for Tennessee.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ram Trucks. NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. And by Corona Extra. Find your beach.
Back in Nashville, where the Titans, thanks to a special teams touchdown, have jumped out to a 7-0 lead. You can help people affected by Hurricane Florence and others by texting Red Cross to 90999 to donate $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. Earlier today, the NFL announced they are donating $1 million to hurricane relief efforts. It's a touchback, and Houston will come out for its second offensive series of the quarter. Remember what J.J. Watt did last year with Hurricane Harvey down in Texas, raising $41 million, and that was a big part of the reason why he proudly won the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year award last season. So from the 25-yard line, Houston now down 7-0. It's Miller. And Lamar Miller to the 31-yard line. It was Wesley Woodyard on the tackle after a gain of 6, and with that run, Lamar Miller has now gone over the 5,000 rushing yard mark for his career in his 7th season out of Miami. Watson under center. Right back to Miller. And Lamar Miller has some room to run. First down and more for Miller. Taken out by Byard at the 49-yard line, but a gain of 18 for Lamar Miller.
Such really great vision, because that's what it's about when you're playing running back. That jump cut to the left and then sticking his foot in the ground, heading upfield. You have to be able to see that because it's not really drawn up that way.
And now Miller lined up at the top of your screen as a wide receiver on 1st and 10. Here comes the blitz by Logan Ryan, and Ryan takes down Watson. Logan Ryan came untouched.
Pass rushers inside, pass rushers outside, open lane for Logan Ryan to come in. It's the design of the play that really beats the quarterback. There's nothing Deshaun Watson could do there, because when you take the snap in the gun, you've got to eye the ball as it's coming at you.
A loss of 7. Texans allowed 3 sacks last week. They give up 1 here. And it's Alfred Blue on the carry. Blue bulldozing his way back close to the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 8 to bring up 3rd down.
And we've seen run lanes early against the Titans because they're really charging hard up the field. So we've seen the pass rush be effective. They've got to temper themselves a little bit when it's the run game and play the run at the line of scrimmage instead of creating those natural lanes by charging up the field.
It's 3rd down and 9. Houston 2 for 12 on 3rd downs this season. Another blitz. Watson in trouble. Trying to get away and just chucks it up. It is incomplete, but flag comes in. Now 2 flags on the field. A lot of contact down there. Jayon Brown was coming with the pressure on Watson.
Adoree Jackson and DeAndre Hopkins were joined at the hip, and it looked like they were just trying to separate themselves from each other. Who pushed off, who didn't push off, who held, who wasn't holding. Up for grabs here.
Pass interference. Number 31, defense. Automatic first down.
Now, he was the least involved, but maybe the third guy into the mix is the one who gets the flag. That's beyond me right there. DeAndre Hopkins is a guy who, when you talk to him, he doesn't mind having that contested catch be part of his repertoire.
It's a 16-yard penalty assessed to Kevin Byard. It gives Houston a first down, and we have a false start now on the Texans.
False start. Number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Second one on Davenport here in the first quarter.
And the last time that they ended up 1st and 15, that was the start of the end of their drive. It's really hard for a young team to overcome those early penalties to start a drive.
Seven and a half to go in the opening quarter. Titans on a fake punt touchdown, lead it 7-0. Watson bobbles the snap, still loose, and now he falls on it at the 49-yard line. Remember last week he fumbled the very first snap of the season, lost that one. This time he's able to recover. A loss of 10 though on the play.
It's going to be a play action pass. He's trying to get out from the center, and really nothing happens. It looks like the ball from Nick Martin comes up exactly where it's supposed to, and it's just butterfingers after that for Deshaun Watson. Goal now, maybe try and get back down into field goal range.
Second down and 25.
One-on-one matchup here, but the safety is shaded over in that direction to help out.
Watson gets rid of it to Miller. Lamar Miller nowhere to go. We're going to go somewhere, back to New York. An NFL Today update with JP and Bill Cowher.
Offensive firepower.
Yeah, how about a fast start for Patrick Mahomes, his second touchdown of the day. This one 19 yards to Travis Kelce. 14-0, 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kansas City over Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
6 TDs in 5 quarters. Andrew Catalon and a man who knew how to catch him, James Lofton.
Guys, that Chiefs offense is scary. Off to a great start. Looking for a rare win in Pittsburgh. Here it's 3rd and 27 for the Texans. Watson. Casey nearly had him from behind. Watson escapes. Watson on the run, and Watson gets down close to the 35-yard line. That 16-yard scramble now gives Bill O'Brien the potential to send out his kicker as opposed to a punt, and he will do just that.
No, the coverage can be loose down the field because you understand how far they have to go to get there, and you can't see everybody, especially when you start to scramble, but defense keeps them in front of them, and there's nowhere to throw the ball, but a good decision not to throw it and to pick up as many yards as you could. He was hitting from this distance as I was watching him on the field during pregame warmup.
54-yard attempt for Ka'imi Fairbairn in his career, 3 of 4 from beyond 50 yards, and he's short. It was on line, but Fairbairn comes up just a little bit short, and the Titans lead remains 7-0. This Saturday, it's the best game from the best conference. The SEC on CBS features Texas A&M taking on the #1 team in the land, Alabama. College Football Today brings you all the news around the country, beginning at 3 Eastern right here on CBS. Derrick Henry in the Wildcat with Blaine Gabbert lined up at the top of your screen. Henry takes the snap. He'll run it right up the middle to midfield. So the Titans continue to give Houston some different looks. Henry picks up 6 on first down.
You know, you've heard of the RPOs, the run pass options. That was an RFO, run first only.
And again, they're doing the same thing. Gabbert at the top of your screen. Henry Again, we'll run it right up the gut, and Derrick Henry has a first down. We met with offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur on Friday at the Titans practice facility, and he said he has to do a better job of watching the snaps between Derrick Henry and Dion Lewis. Last week, Henry only had 20 snaps, while Dion Lewis had 49, and LaFleur said, I got a checklist now. I got to make sure I get Derrick Henry his touches. So far today, Henry with 5 carries, and Dion Lewis has not run the football as of yet. Again, Henry flips it to Taywan Taylor, trying to get around the edge. Taylor does, and Taylor out of bounds, taken up by Tyrann Mathieu, but another nice pickup on the ground for the Titans.
Now, this is a completed pass, but what I'm wondering is if when Blaine Gabbert comes back to the huddle, is he going to tell Derrick Henry that he was open? Because you line up at receiver 3 times, and it kind of just gets in your system that you're open out there.
There's Matt LaFleur, first year as Tennessee's offensive coordinator. He was the Rams offensive coordinator last year, but Sean McVay, the head coach, called all the plays. Again, Henry up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage. It's hard to get past big DJ Reader, 6'3", 347 pounds. He had 2 sacks last week against Tom Brady, just the second nose tackle ever to sack Tom Brady twice in a game. B.J. Raji did it in 2010.
Well, and part of that was Clowney and Watt on the outside, forcing Brady up into the arms of D.J. Reader.
Henry again continues to run it up the middle, and an extra effort out to the 30-yard line. Kareem Jackson on the tackle. Now Rashard Matthews having a few words. Jonathan Joseph, Tyrann Mathieu in the mix. Division rivals, even though it's early in the season, it's always a little extra when these two get together.
Now, you had a couple of young players who ran in from the sideline. Maybe they're going to be in the next sequence, but you can't run onto the field when there's a skirmish going on. You got to be really, really careful with that.
Blaine Gabbert back at quarterback. Still has not completed a pass.
Here's the guy to throw to right there, Corey Davis in the slot.
And with the play clock running down, Tennessee calls a timeout. First of the quarter for the Titans. They had to use 2 timeouts on offense in the first quarter last week in Miami, and they take another early one here today.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Back in Nashville, 2:20 to go first quarter following the Tennessee timeout. It's first down and 10. Gabbert to Dion Lewis, his first carry of the day, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. J.J. Watt, one of the first to get there for the Texans. J.J. Watt, we met with him last night. He said, I know I'm going to get chipped. I know they're going to roll protection to my side. The big key for me is I cannot get frustrated because I am going to get a one-on-one at some point, and when I get that, I've got to win that battle. So very interesting to hear his thought process going into this game against the 2 backup tackles for Tennessee.
Well, in addition to that, he splits double teams too. So one-on-one, it's no problem for him at all.
Second down and 9, right back to Dion Lewis. And Lewis to the 23-yard line. Going to be a couple yards shy of a first down.
You almost know if you're the running back and you're running in J.J. Watt's direction that you're going to end up with a cutback run. And Lewis tried to stretch it in that direction to get the linebackers to flow, stuck his foot in the ground, and was able to cut it back.
Titans go no huddle, 3rd and 4. Gabbert, first completion today to Corey Davis with a big stiff arm and a Tennessee first down. He's got the size, 6'3", 209, and Davis moves the chains.
I talked to his position coach, Rob Moore, on the field before the game, and he said, I expect a lot from this kid. He is big, he's strong, he's fast, he's much quicker than people give him credit for because he's such a great route runner, getting in and out of the breaks. You saw him lower his shoulder there, so takes care of business.
He was targeted a career-high 13 times last week in the loss at Miami. A game that just ended yesterday with all those weather delays. The longest game in NFL history.
Kareem Jackson, who was moved to safety back out the corner, is trying to cover him.
Taywan Taylor slips a tackle. Taylor's got some room, cuts it back, and takes in. Touchdown, Titans! Blaine Gabbert's first touchdown pass as a member of the Titans. And it goes to Taywan Taylor from 18 yards out.
With the short passing game, this RPO, you better be able to tackle on the back end. A couple good blocks up front, and then he takes the honey badger at the 10-yard line and shakes him up, puts him back in the honey pot.
Gabbert's first touchdown pass in his last 113 attempts, going back to last year when he was a member of the Arizona Cardinals. Succop's extra point is good. And what a start in this quarter for the Tennessee Titans and Mike Vrabel. They lead at 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from AARP. Second career touchdown for Taywan Taylor as we take another look at the beautiful moves he puts on.
Well, you had some strength there because the first tackle could have slowed him down, but that move right there to shake, cut back inside, and a little bit of dance. Marcus Mariota, looks like his hand's okay. Well, he can clap. We know that.
Mariota, the big problem continues to be the feeling or lack thereof in his right hand. So Blaine Gabbert getting the start today and throwing the touchdown pass to give Tennessee a 14-0 lead. And it's another touchback. Well, the Titans had an eventful week one. It took 7 hours and 8 minutes to play the game because of 2 weather delays. Longest game in NFL history. Mariota, Walker, Delaney Walker, and Taylor Lewan all injured in that one. And it's a tough stretch right here for Tennessee. Houston today, then at Jacksonville, and then home against the defending Super Bowl champion. So a big one here for the Titans. They don't have Delaney Walker the rest of the season. He's out with the ankle injury, and Taylor Lewan not playing today because of the concussion he suffered last week in Miami. It's Alfred Blue on the carry, and Blue picks up 3 yards.
It was interesting when we asked Mike Vrabel about that 7-hour-plus game, if he took it a little easier on them the rest of the week. He said, no, they were able to come in a little bit later on Monday, but we kept the same schedule. And when we were out at practice on Friday, maybe the hardest working guy at practice might have been Mike Vrabel in every drill, even with working with Jack Conklin at the end of practice with a one-on-one pass rush. So he worked up a sweat, still probably thinks he can play a couple of snaps.
He sure does. Watson with time finds a wide open Ryan Griffin. That's his first catch of the season. And Griffin gives the Texans a first down after a 19-yard pickup. End of the first quarter. Vrabel and the Titans lead the Texans 14-0. Start of the second quarter here in Nashville. The Titans have a 14-0 lead with James Lofton. I'm Andrew Catalon. We thank you for joining us. Week 2 of the NFL on CBS. And just like last week, Deshaun Watson under a lot of pressure. He was knocked down 9 times last week, which was the 3rd most in the NFL for week 1. And already on the ground a handful of times in the first quarter.
And added to that, 2 false start penalties by the offensive line.
It's Alfred Blue on the carry. Blue hit it midfield, and Woodyard takes him down. What a wacky first quarter it was as we take a closer look at Deshaun Watson so far today. The sack by Jarrell Casey, then the blitz by Logan Ryan with another sack. Lost the handle on that handoff, but he did recover it, so a bumpy start here for Watson and the Texans. Second down and 6. Play fake. Watson to DeAndre Hopkins. And Hopkins has his first catch and still going inside the 30. And Hopkins out of bounds at the 25-yard line. There's also a penalty back at the line of scrimmage.
We got a hold. Can't block them up front. You're going to end up holding them.
And the Texans are walking back toward the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul. Clipping. Number 64 offense. 15-yard penalty still. Second down.
It's on the left guard, Sunil Kelemete. Now that negates a 25-yard pickup.
Yeah, that's 40 yards. You don't think of clipping getting called very often, but he gets beaten. and then he goes at the back of the legs, and it's really close. Hopkins so open, running a short route, that he had great time after the catch to make a move and to finish it off. Dynamic runner after the catch.
4 penalties for 30 yards already this half against the Texans. Watson to Ellington has the catch in Titans territory and tackled at the 47 by Logan Ryan. But they get back a big chunk of the yardage they just lost, a 17-yard gain.
The Texans are having to go with 5-man protection, well, 6-man protection rather. And what they're having to do is keep an extra running back in or somebody in to help this offensive line. But when you do that, you submit to the blitz because they will line up in 5 across the front. You don't know which 5 are going to rush or which 4 are going to rush out of those 5.
3rd down and 4. Watson to Fuller for the first down. Tackled at the 40, and that's the first 3rd down conversion today for the Texans.
Good quick pass, sets that back foot, gets the ball out quickly, and like once again I said about Will Fuller, he can fly. Now the guy who's covering him, Adoree Jackson, he can fly too, but he doesn't want Will Fuller flying by him.
Alfred Blue on 1st and 10. And Jarrell Casey makes the tackle after a 3-yard pickup. Blue with 4 carries, Lamar Miller with 4 carries now. This Texans team rushed for 167 yards last week in New England, which was 4th best in the NFL in week 1. And they got 63 on the ground so far here in the first half. 2nd down and 7. Play action. Watson with time, taking a deep shot for Hopkins in the end zone, and it is picked off. Adoree Jackson with his first NFL interception. Good coverage in the end zone, and Jackson picks off Watson. After the Adoree Jackson interception, the Titans have the ball back 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And Gabbert hands off to Henry, who's tripped up by J.J. Watt. Great play by the 8th-year man out of Wisconsin. But let's go back to the interception, James.
And you're going to watch DeAndre Hopkins flash his right hand up as if to say, I've split him. Give me a chance to go up and get the ball. Going up to get the ball at the high point, Adoree Jackson, 2-time Pac-12 long jump champion. Mentioned to him on the game that I was a 2-time Pac-8 long jump champion, but he was the first to go up, and you're going to win the rebound when you do that. And
it's now 16 consecutive games that the Texans have turned over the ball at least once. Longest active streak in the NFL. Gabbert to Davis. He's got it right at the chains.
Boy, you got to love that throw because the throw happens before Davis comes out of the break, and you see Matthew underneath the play. This is just timing. And to have that timing as the backup quarterback with the #1 receiver, that's exquisite.
Just short of a first down. It's 3rd and 1 for Tennessee.
I'd say it might be Derrick Henry time.
6'3", 247 pounds.
Yep.
Think he can get you a yard? 2 for 3 on 3rd down so far today. It's Henry time. Henry spins his way for a first. Duke Ejiofor, the rookie out of Wake Forest, makes the tackle, but it's good for a Tennessee first down.
You are almost better in short yardage. And I know this is going to sound as crazy as anything I've ever said, running at J.J. Watt as opposed to running away from him, because he can shed blockers so quickly. At least the tackle starts to block him. Then the fullback gets a little piece on him, because if you run away from him, he's going to crash down that line, which he did just there, and he made Henry spin and twist and move back to the left away from where he was. There's J.J. Watt again. He's creating havoc, even though his team's down 14.
3 on the play clock. Gabbert looking to throw. Ejiofor coming. Gabbert gets rid of it, incomplete. And as he released the football, it was Ejiofor crashing down on the Titans quarterback.
When you haven't played a lot, And it's been a while since your last start. Occasionally, Andrew, you can try and do too much. You get in the pocket like that, you get pressure, sail that ball out of bounds, over where the Gatorade is. Don't put that ball in play as a soft toss.
Dion Lewis gets the handoff, and Lewis tackled at the 35-yard line. That was Whitney Merciless on the tackle. Just going back to Duke Ejiofor for a moment, we met with Bill O'Brien last night. If you're just joining us, Jadeveon Clowney not playing today because of an elbow injury. Bill O'Brien said he hopes Clowney can return next week against the Giants. However, in the interim, he was excited to see Ejiofor make his NFL debut today. The Houston native who went to Taylor High School. They're down 6. Gabbert is caught along the sideline by Rashard Matthews, and we'll see where they spot it. It's the first catch of the season by Matthews, who was held without a reception in Miami last Sunday and looks to be just short, so Mike Vrabel will send out Brett Kern, who last time he was on the field did not punt the ball. It was a fake punt for a touchdown.
And this time, believe it or not, the Texans have the Gunners covered up on the outside.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. Here at the bottom, come on, get back out here. Come on, right now.
Tyler Ervin back deep for Houston. From his own 10-yard line, there is a flag down. Ervin to the 20. Hit hard at the 24-yard line. Darren Bates making the play on special teams along with Brendan Trawick. A 50-yard punt by Kern, but let's see what the call is from Pete Morelli.
During a return, holding. Number 43 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down and timeout.
8:54 to go, first half. Texans down by 2 scores.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL. And by Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network.
From the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum to here Nissan Stadium, 8:54 to go in the first half. And the Titans have a 14-0 lead. On 1st and 10, Lamar Miller has the carry for the Texans. And he gets 3 yards on the play. The penalty on the punt was against Sharice Wright, the newest member of the Houston Texans. So now in the first half, Houston has 5 penalties for 40 yards.
And they've been damaging penalties. We talked about those penalties that started drives off 1st and 15. Those are really tough to overcome if you're not functioning on all 4 cylinders, 6 or 8 or 12 on offense.
Watson on 2nd and 7, looking for Fuller. They connect at the 21-yard line. And Woodyard and Adoree Jackson are there to make the tackle. And it's going to be a yard shy of a first down.
And right in the middle of this Titans defense, you've got big people. Jarrell Casey's trotting onto the field, but you've got 2 other nose tackles out there, number 94 Austin Jenkins and number 96 Benny Logan. So there's a lot of meat right in the middle of this defensive unit for the Titans.
3rd and 1, Watson looking to throw it, has to just throw it away with the pressure coming. Kamale Correa was bearing down on Watson, and the Texans cannot convert on 3rd and 1.
You get that initial push right up the middle, and then right off the edge, you don't get anybody picking up the blitzing linebacker. And Correa started coming and said, hey, I've got a free path at the quarterback. Might as well come and take him out.
What do you make of that play call on 3rd and 1, James?
Well, nothing wrong with the play call, but the execution of the play. The back going out on the route should have chipped that linebacker before he went out.
Second punt for Trevor Daniel, a Dixon, Tennessee native, grew up as a Titans fan. There's a flag down. Jackson with the fair catch, but we'll see what the penalty is. 47-yard punt from Daniel, who played collegiately at Knoxville, University of Tennessee.
During the kick, holding. Number 21 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down, and timeout.
7:36 to go. Titans lead 14-0. So far, it's been all Titans in this one. They lead the Texans 14-0. Got it first down and 10 with 7:36 to go in the opening half. Dion Lewis trying to spin back the other way, nowhere to go. Good containment there, and it was Brandon Dunn bringing down Dion Lewis.
That last play was the J.J. Watt effect. Swim move inside, gets it so Dion Lewis can't get all the way out. This offensive line is still holding up okay. You had the big play on the punt, where you're going to punt, throw a touchdown, convert another drive into 7 points. They haven't had a lot of negative plays, so that's good for them, but 2nd and 12 right here.
Back to Lewis up the middle. Lunges ahead to the 25-yard line. Let's go back to New York. An NFL Today update with JB and Bill Cowher.
An officiating point of emphasis.
Yeah, that's protecting the quarterbacks. You can see DeMonte KZ helmet to helmet from this unnecessary roughness call. He was ejected from the game. Cam Newton went on to play and finish that drive with a 5-yard touchdown pass to Jarvis Wright. Carolina leads in Atlanta 10-3.
Back to Andrew and James.
All right, guys, no doubt about that ejection. Good call there. Here in Nashville, it's 3rd and 7 for Blaine Gabbert and the Titans. They're 3 for 5 on 3rd downs today. Here comes the blitz. Gabbert to a wide open Taylor. Taylor cuts back the other way, but is tackled right at the sticks. Looks to maybe be a half-yard shy. McKinney on the tackle for the Texans. And let's see where they spot it.
And there is nothing in the coaching manual that tells you to go for it inside your 40-yard line when you're backed up.
And Pete Morelli,
Get a measurement.
he's going to get a measurement. We'll give you a replay, and we'll keep the yellow first down line out there for you.
His helmet got there, but this is not a horse race. He got it by the helmet, but I'd say it's about a ball length short if that yellow line is as correct as it normally is. Still can't figure out why they can't put the microchip inside the football and just laser this from the sideline.
Look at that. A hair short. And Mike Vrabel.
Oh, he's going for it. Nice.
He's keeping the offense on the field, up 14-0 in the second quarter. James, do you like this call?
I love the call, but am I going to love it after the play's over?
That's why I'm asking you before the play.
I do enjoy the call. And,
this is gutsy.
I still say, and it doesn't look like this is a run formation.
Derrick Henry's not even in the game. It's Dion Lewis, running back. Is Gabbert just going to keep it himself or try to draw him off sides? He keeps it himself, pushes forward, and he appears to have it.
6'4", 235. You get big quarterbacks who are determined. They can get you the nose of the ball moving forward. And there's Gabbert. You see his body going forward. In all that pile, there's no exact spotting of the ball, but the officials are coming in from the side, realizing that he got enough to gain.
And Mike Vrabel doesn't like the spot.
But this is one where it is so hard to try and challenge the spot. Yeah, they didn't give him much. Now they just scooted it forward about a ball length.
And J.J. Watt pleading his case, and Bill O'Brien has the red challenge flag in his hand.
Yeah.
He could challenge the spot, but as you said, James, not
It's
easy to pick out exactly where it is.
Exactly.
They have officially given Tennessee a first down. Now let's see if O'Brien decides to challenge the spot. And he's putting the flag back in his pocket.
You know, trying to challenge that is a lot like when the shoppers are breaking toward the store on Black Friday. You can't see what's happening.
A gutsy call by Mike Vrabel, and it pays off as he goes for it on his own 30-yard line. And 1st and 10, Dion Lewis with a flag down. Lewis is brought down
Holding.
at the 34.
Number 81 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Penalties on Jonnu Smith, the second-year tight end.
You know, Jonnu Smith gets the call, but some of the assist on this holding almost goes to Dion Lewis, because when he bounces to the outside, they're trying to block that specific hole, which is inside. Yes, as a blocker, you've got to take your hands off of him. You can't reach out and grab him and continue to hold him once the running back bounces to the outside. But as a runner, sometimes you just have to take the 2 yards as opposed to trying to bounce it to get to 12 yards.
Jonnu Smith figures to be much more prominent in this Tennessee offense now that Delaney Walker is out for the season. It's Dion Lewis to the 30 to the 25-yard line. And it will be the Verizon halftime report coming up in a few minutes from now with our guys back in New York. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cower. All the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon halftime report. The ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. It's second down and 16. Gabbert, Taylor could not hold on. And that was good coverage by Kareem Jackson.
You know, this is a quick slant and even quicker pass coverage on the other end. Ball just a little bit behind. Kareem Jackson closing in. If you're Derrick Henry on the sideline, and if Matt LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, was on the sideline, the veteran move would be to just bump into him a little bit to go, oh, coach, I'm standing here right next to you. I'm not on the field. Because sometimes those coordinators, they get focused on play calls and who's out there. And this is certainly Dion Lewis' series.
Third down and 16. Reed coming with the blitz. Reed chasing Gabbert, who just throws it away.
Outside the pocket. Good move, even though it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, because Jonnu Smith was in the area. Dion Lewis was moving in the area. It's a good job avoiding the big loss.
Bill O'Brien was raving about the rookie Justin Reed, who's the youngest player on the team, just 21 years old. Now they've thrown a flag.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith is over there on that side. The ball heads in his direction, and nobody says how close it has to be to him.
Intentional grounding. Number 7, offense. And loss of down. Fourth down.
And a spot foul, so it goes back to the spot where he let the ball go.
Mike Vrabel was pointing up to the scoreboard here inside the stadium to try to explain what you just said, James, that he thought Jonnu Smith was in the area.
It's, you know, when you're the assistant coach or the coordinator, you can really yell at the officials a lot. When you're the head coach, you got to pick and choose your spots, and that's one that you're probably not going to win. And looking up at the scoreboard is something that the officials are not supposed to do.
So a big opportunity now for the Texans to get the ball with some good field position. Irvin awaiting the punt at his own 40-yard line. Kern with a real high punt. Irvin from the 41 and shoved that out of bounds at the 47-yard line. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from FanDuel. Bill O'Brien and the Texans trying to get on the scoreboard. They do have all 3 timeouts here, and it's been tough sledding so far with 2 punts, a missed field goal, and an interception thrown by Deshaun Watson. They do start with good field position here.
They do, and there's a little extra attention put on DeAndre Hopkins by his alignment. Now, when you go 2 receivers out to the same side, it's a little harder for them to try and double team either of the 2 receivers.
Breeze picking up just a little bit here inside the stadium. Lamar Miller to midfield, and a late flag comes in, and it's a hold against the Texans. It's on Ryan Griffin. So the last 8 road games for the Texans have all been losses. It's the second longest active streak. Cleveland has lost 21 in a row on the road, but the last time the Texans won a game on the road was week 2 of last year, that Thursday night game in Cincinnati when Deshaun Watson had a 49-yard touchdown run. 6 penalties, 50 yards on the Texans in the first half. 2nd and 20. Watson to Ellington at the 41. Jackson with the tackle. And another flag comes in. This one's on the far sideline. Malcolm Butler and DeAndre Hopkins were matched up over there.
Illegal contact. Number 21 defense. 5-yard penalty and automatic first down.
That's on Malcolm Butler, who was guarding Hopkins on that play.
And that's a little bit of a bailout because you're so far away from the play. You had a pass completion for a short gain, but you get this excessive kind of jam by Malcolm Butler there, riding him way down the field, well past the 5-yard marker.
And we asked Hopkins last night, what do you think about Malcolm Butler? And he goes, he's a physical guy. And we saw that right there. The penalty on Butler gives Houston an automatic first down. Watson looking to go back to the air. Another flag down. The pass is complete to Fuller, trying to get away from Adoree Jackson. Ball came out late, but they did blow the whistle. Jackson takes it all the way back, but they did blow the whistle. And it's going to be another penalty on the Texans.
Go. Holding. Number 74. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the penalty is called on Kendall Lamb, who's their 3rd tackle. And these penalties have just absolutely decimated the Texans in the first half. 7 for 60 yards.
And the bad thing about it, Kendall Lamb is standing on the sideline. So probably was number 64.
So 1st and 20 as we approach 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Arakpo coming. Watson gets rid of it and completes it to the tight end, Jordan Akins. Kenny Vaccaro, the safety, makes the stop. First catch today for Akins, the rookie out of Central Florida.
With the pass rush and the pressure that's being put on Deshaun Watson, there is not time for him to really throw a ball where the route develops past 10 yards. So he's got to get the ball out of his hands quickly just to avoid the outside pass rush.
Lamar Miller, the running back, lined up at the bottom of your screen as a receiver. Watson looking left, throws left. Ellington makes a nice catch on the sideline. At the 45-yard line, it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Texans trying to get something going on offense before halftime.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by AARP. Take on today with AARP. Real possibilities.
Pineapple looks pretty good here for Marcus Mariota. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. Maybe we'll get some pineapple at the half. JB, Phil, Nate Boomer, Coach Cower. All the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report. 1:58 to go. It's 3rd and 7 for the Texans from the 45-yard line. Watson with Casey coming. Watson gets rid of it and completes it to DeAndre Hopkins, who's then taken down by Jayon Brown. And it's good for a Houston first down, a gain of 23.
Hopkins is a worker. He's running the zone pattern, but he has to continue to come inside because his quarterback's on the move. Then they locate each other. They've got that little thing, that mind thing going together. They know when the other's in trouble. Watson's been in a lot of trouble so far.
Texans have all 3 timeouts. They are in field goal range, but they're looking for 6. Watson steps up, and Derek Morgan trips him up from behind. And now Bill O'Brien uses his first timeout. Well, this past Tuesday, Titans running backs Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, and David Fluellen visited nearby Thurgood Marshall Middle School. The players participated in a school assembly that helped teach kids about making healthy lifestyle choices through proper nutrition and staying physically active. It was all part of the NFL's Fuel Up to Play 60 program. Great job by those guys getting out in the community this week before the home opener against the Texans. So with 2 timeouts to go for Houston, they certainly can use the middle of the field here. They got plenty of time, 1:16 on the clock.
2 big pass rushers on the field. Orakpo up top and Harold Landry, the rookie who talked about his great first step at the bottom.
Watson has time. Now looking for Hopkins, incomplete over his head. Good job by that Houston offensive line to allow Watson the time to throw.
Great job up front. You start with 5. You get the 6th blocker with the tight end. You get a 7th blocker with the running back. So you just got a couple of receivers out. And these receivers are getting a little gassed because all the scramble routes that they're having to run. They go up the field 20 yards. They break inside. Then they have to run another 30 or 40 yards. So they're huffing and puffing a little bit as they come back. Luckily, they can use all the 40-second clock here to kind of catch their breath before the next snap.
3rd down and 6. Titans fans making some noise here in Nashville. Watson again with time, now in trouble. Casey trying to get him. Watson across his body, completes it to Hopkins. 5, and he takes it in for the touchdown. Great job again by the Texans offensive line, allowing Watson time to throw, and he hooks up with Hopkins for the score.
Talked about Hopkins being a little gassed. Look at how hard he has to work just to get off the line of scrimmage. Then his out route, now back to the inside, across the field, and all the time he kept his eyes right on Deshaun Watson, hoping that Watson would see him before the defense found him.
That's DeAndre Hopkins' 7th touchdown in 11 career games against the Tennessee Titans, and it comes at a big time for Houston as they were trying to get on track. Watson, the 28-yard touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins. And now just needs 6 receiving yards to 6,000 for his career. He'd be the 3rd youngest to reach the milestone behind Randy Moss and Larry Fitzgerald.
You know, some of the numbers that we're seeing receivers put up are almost like the salaries. They are a little inflated, but when you're still near the top, like he is, 3rd all time to be able to do that at the young age, you know it's an impressive stat, especially when you rattle off those other names along with them.
So Houston had 2 holding penalties on that drive. They were able to overcome that and get down the field and get it in the end zone for the first time today. Now 58 seconds to go. The Titans have 2 timeouts to work with. Darius Jennings, who had the kick return for a touchdown last week in Miami, is back deep. And this will be a touchback. So how do you approach this drive, James, with Blaine Gabbert as the quarterback, less than a minute to go and 2 timeouts?
The same way you do when we go out as a big group for dinner. You have an appetizer first. If the appetizer is pretty good, then you say, okay, well, give me those specials again. So if you can get past the 40-yard line, that's your appetizer area. And then you have a chance to really attack it, because if not, play conservatively, take your 14-7 lead into halftime and go with that. So if you can pop a big run by big man back there, then you have a chance.
I'm getting hungry listening to you. It's 1st and 10 from the 25. Derrick Henry, here's the appetizer. And the appetizer goes for 4 yards. And a timeout called for by Bill O'Brien, who has 1 timeout to go. We met with J.J. Watt last night, and he said, I probably had the greatest 2 minutes of my career against the Titans. It was back in 2014, the strip sack on Jake Locker. He recovered the fumble, and 2 plays later, Watt catches the touchdown pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick. J.J. Watt has 3 receiving
just about
touchdowns.
The biggest grin on his face ever, as because he's like just narrating us through it. It's like, don't you guys remember what happened, what I did? We remember, and he said there might be a little tight end in his future sometime this year.
He would love to do it. Corey Davis goes in motion on 2nd and 7. Henry. Zach Cunningham makes the tackle. Bill O'Brien quickly calls his final timeout. as the Texans have their eyes on trying to get the ball back here before halftime.
Now you've got 46 seconds. If the next play takes less than 6 seconds, you would force a punt on 4th down. But this is going to be right on the wire there. Dion Lewis is coming on in place of Derrick Henry. So now you look and say, is it a pass? Is it a real safe pass? Is it a draw? But what it does, it gives your defense, which has held their own, a chance to really strip the ball away from a runner and get a turnover, to get that ball on the ground.
I think you got to run it here if you're the Titans.
You've got to run it, and you've got to hold on to it. You've got to have great ball security.
3rd and 7. Dion Lewis, the running back. They do run it. Lewis has the first down. So now does Mike Vrabel
He's just
try
about
to
a
get
yard
aggressive?
short.
Oh, now they are going to spot it short. But they can just run it out.
And they're kind of synced up, so it's really, really, really close.
And Mike Vrabel's taking the headset off. He's going to go right into the locker room. That'll be it. There were so many questions going into this game, including who would start at quarterback for the Titans. It's Blaine Gabbert, and he has helped give the Titans a 14-7 halftime lead, and Tennessee does get the ball to start the second half. That's the end of the first half with the score Tennessee 14, Houston 7. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Back in Nashville with a look at the first half numbers. The penalties a big problem for both teams. More for the Texans, 70 for 60 yards, and Houston trails by 7 here at the half. Back in the booth with the Hall of Famer James Lofton. I'm Andrew Catalon. Deshaun Watson struggled last week in New England. Did not have a great first quarter today, but picked up some steam there in the second quarter. The touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins. What have you seen from Deshaun Watson?
I've seen a quarterback who is constantly under pressure. His offensive line has not been able to give him the time that he would love to have to be able to throw the football, but he's not a complainer. He's just a guy who goes out and competes.
Let's take a look at our first half highlight. It's brought to you by DirecTV. And how about what the Titans did early in this one? The fake punt. Kevin Byard, the touchdown pass that covered 66 yards to Dane Cruikshank.
The last time he had his name called was at the Combine. He ran 4.41, 38 inches in the vertical. So he had all those great Combine numbers, and now he has a big touchdown to go along with it.
Blaine Gabbert got the start today. Marcus Mariota not ready to go. Gabbert is 5 of 9 for 47 yards and a touchdown pass, and his Titans offense will get the ball first to start the second half. Bill O'Brien did get the offense going in a good rhythm in the second quarter with Watson hooking up with Hopkins. We told you at the beginning of the game, only 10% of teams since the early 90s have started 0-2 and gone on to make the playoffs. Both these teams lost week 1, trying to avoid a second straight defeat.
One of the things that Tennessee did in this ball game is they have committed to the run, and 17 rushes, 18 between Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, to take the onus off of Blaine Gabbert, who really only had to throw 9 passes in that first half. So haven't had big chunk runs, but when you run the football, you don't allow those defensive front to really come after your quarterback.
Titans 11-0 when Henry rushes 11 or more times in a game. He's got his 12th carry right there. And we told you, Matt LaFleur said he wanted to feed Henry a little bit more this game, and so far, so good for Derrick Henry and the Titans offense. 12 carries, 36 yards.
We're still waiting on the first double-digit run. The long run so far, Derrick Henry 9 yards, Dion Lewis 6. You keep chipping away, and as long as you don't get that hold up front, sometimes you can pop that big run.
Lewis, the running back, on 2nd down and 6. It's a pitch to Dion Lewis. Lewis cuts it up, hit hard at the 31-yard line by Brandon Dunn. Third-year man out of Louisville, and it sets up 3rd and 4.
One of the things that the Tennessee Titans really don't have, they don't have an elite, established field stretcher. Somebody who's going to take the top off. Yeah, they've got some young guys who can certainly run, but because they haven't done it on a regular basis, you really don't fear them. This third down, the guy that you have to cover is right down here at the bottom, Corey Davis.
Davis has 2 catches today for 19 yards. Gabbert was looking his way, trying to connect with Davis. He can't. Good coverage again by Kareem Jackson, and a great start to this second half for the Texans.
Tried to run a quick stop and start move, and Kareem Jackson, he's seen a couple of those in his time at corner. Moved back to safety this season, but back to corner for this game because they've had some shortages there, so he can man either position equally as well.
Kevin Johnson on IR. Bill O'Brien said, look, Jackson played great at safety last week, but we need him at corner, and you saw why right there. Kern punting away to Irvin. It's a great punt from Kern inside the 10, but there is a flag down back toward the line of scrimmage.
Now there's a hold. If the hold is before the ball is punted, it would be a first down. If it's after, then it's post possession. Got to talk to Mike Vrabel, so this could be really good for the Titans if the hold is before the ball is punted.
Holding. Number 51, the receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down. 31.
It's on Natrell Jamerson. Texans football when we come back. Texans backed up to start this drive. They have the ball at the 4-yard line. They hand it off to Lamar Miller on first down, and he fights his way for a couple. It was a 65-yard change of field position on that punt. 62 yards because of the punt by Kern, and then the penalty for 3 more yards, half the distance to the goal. So a great job by the Titans special teams all day today. As you see, Deshaun Watson, second most career touchdown passes in the first 9 games of a career. Only Kurt Warner with more. Second down and 6. Miller's in his own end zone. It's a play fake. Watson to a wide open Will Fuller for a first down. Wrestled down by Malcolm Butler. Bill O'Brien said, we really missed Will Fuller last week in New England. Did not play because of a hamstring injury, but he is a big part of this offense.
So we always talk about his speed, but what Bill O'Brien wanted to emphasize is that he's such a great route runner. And by that I mean he picks a shoulder, he drives at that shoulder, knowing that he's going to turn the opposite direction to make the cornerback do a 360, and he did that against Malcolm Butler on the last play.
Gain of 20 on that play. Miller to the 30. So Will Fuller, the 21st overall pick back in 2016 out of Notre Dame. Philadelphia native, caught 7 touchdowns in his first 4 games played last season, and as we mentioned, sat out last week in New England because of the hamstring injury. 4 catches, 42 yards today for Fuller. On 2nd and 7, Watson fires right, caught again by Fuller. Knocked out of bounds by Adoree Jackson, but another 15-yard pickup for the Texans on offense.
Your quarterback has a choice on this last play. It's double comebacks on each side, but you get man coverage at the bottom and you get off coverage at the top. So you're easily going to go to the top. Even though DeAndre Hopkins is your number 1 guy, you go to the easy read. A bit of a rhythm. You might expect a blitz to come from the Titans.
Here they come. Watson gets rid of it incomplete. It was Kenny Vaccaro, the safety, coming on the blitz, and Watson was forced to rush that throw.
You've just given up two chunk throws. And now what you're going to do, you're going to turn the pressure up. And by that, you don't just rely on your front 4. You bring an additional person from the secondary, make that quarterback get the ball out of his hands, and you cause an inaccurate throw.
Watson 12 out of 17, 155 yards, the touchdown to Hopkins, and the interception in the end zone that Adoree Jackson picked off. Watson communicating with Lamar Miller. He hands off to Miller. Miller out to midfield. Bill O'Brien said the thing he really liked about Lamar Miller last week in New England, how decisive he was on his runs, and he hit the hole hard that time to bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 50.
In 3rd and 5, it'll be interesting to see where they put DeAndre Hopkins, and if the Titans are able to double team him by their alignment. Adoree Jackson is off of him, but you have Byard slanting over to that side.
Hopkins at the top of your screen.
Here and here, 2 men.
Watson out of the shotgun. Over the middle, caught again by Will Fuller. It's another Texans 1st down to the Tennessee 34, a gain of 16.
People normally think of speed as going vertical, but it's also going horizontal across the field. You've got to be able to run away from people. Will Fuller is able to do that at the top of his route.
Catch number 6 today for Fuller as Miller gets a yard on the ground. It's so easy to forget that Deshaun Watson, this is only his 8th NFL start, and this is only the 5th time he's played a game with Will Fuller. Deshaun Watson turned 23 2 days ago. He's still so young.
So you're saying he still has birthday cake on his...
You just forget that. It's still, everything is still so new for the Texans on offense.
The expectation level, because in back-to-back weeks last year, one game he threw 4 touchdowns, the next week he threw 5 touchdowns.
2nd and 9. Watson steps up, in trouble, and he goes down.
That was a 2-man pass pattern and a 9-man pass rush. So locked up on the outside, but everybody else is committed, and they're coming after Watson. I mean, those are defensive backs, safeties in the backfield.
That's Kamalei Correa with the sack. What a pickup he's been from the Ravens late in August.
You had 12 men in the huddle for the Texans there for a moment.
Bill O'Brien waving
They
them
may
off.
need a timeout here.
Play clock's at 6. Watson trying to hurry, and he has to take a timeout. So some confusion there for the Texans on offense, and they have to use a timeout with 8:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. It'll be 3rd and 15 for O'Brien in Houston when we return to Nashville.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. And by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you.
Out of the Houston timeout, big play here. 3rd and 14. Texans are 4 of their last 5 on 3rd downs.
Got to figure out a way to slow down Brian Orakpo.
Pressure coming from the outside. Watson eludes it, now throws it deep, looking for Hopkins, and it's incomplete. Hopkins looking for a flag, no call as Watson was sent to the ground, and now it's 4th down.
Normally you throw a 50-50 ball into one-on-one coverage. So I would assume that if you throw it with 2 men back there, that it's a 75-25 ball because you're giving 2 defenders a chance to make plays on it. DeAndre Hopkins still with his eyes on the ball, but just couldn't elevate enough to get up to that one.
So Trevor Daniel is out to punt it away. Standing right near midfield. Trying to pin the Titans deep. Bounces, and it's down at the 10. There is a flag down, 2 flags in fact on the field. Good job by Daniel if this play stands.
During the kick, holding number 99, the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Well, earlier James made the comment, we were at practice on Friday, and it looked like Mike Vrabel can still play. Well, he probably can. He's only 43 years old. And how about this? In 2009, Mike Vrabel, a member of the Chiefs, with the sack against the Redskins. Who was on the Redskins? Now the guy he's coaching, Brian Orakpo. It was his rookie season. They played in the same game, and I don't know, Vrabel said maybe he still got about 10 plays in him, as long as they were slow plays.
And it was interesting. Orakpo said, out of all the coaches he's had, they've always been offensive-minded. Now, when a guy, as his head coach in Vrabel, gives him a tip, he actually listens to it.
On first down, Dion Lewis trying to give the Titans some breathing room. It really was amazing at practice on Friday. Vrabel was covering tight ends. He was running all around. We asked Jarrell Casey about it, and he said, that's what I love about Vrabel. He doesn't mind getting grimy with us. It was 93 and humid at practice on Friday, and Vrabel was just as dirty as any of his players.
And I remember he said this. He said there's no job out there too small that's not important. Whether it's coaching the scout team, whether it's coaching the starters or the linebackers or the offensive linemen.
Gabbert on 2nd and 9, and a quick pass is caught. That's Luke Stocker back to New York. An NFL Today update with JP and Bill Cowher.
Patience paying off.
Yeah, patience with the young quarterback Sam Darnold. Here on 3rd down, he's going to find Bilal Powell for 28 yards out, and the Jets get on the board. 7 plays, 75 yards. Missed extra point. They trail 20-6 to the Miami Dolphins.
Andrew Catalon, James Lofton.
All right, guys, 3rd down and 5 for the Titans. Their last 4 possessions, punt, then the end of the half, and a punt. So they've been stagnant since a good start in the first quarter. See if they can extend this drive. It's 3rd and 5.
J.J. Watt wants to extend the quarterback backwards.
Gabbert behind the play. That's a live ball, and Jackson falls on it for a touchdown. The refs will huddle up, but that appears to be a Houston touchdown. No signal yet.
The ball came out sidearm because J.J. Watt had his big left hand there, and they had to throw around him.
Incomplete.
Yeah.
4th down.
Now they say incomplete. They did not blow the whistle after that, and the Texans thought they had a touchdown.
Gabbert almost threw that like a guy trying to convert a double play, almost sidearm, almost underneath J.J. Watt's hand. That ball's going forward. It got tipped. It went backwards, and Matthews trying to cover it, doing the smart thing, but that ball was a forward pass.
And that's what they instruct the officials to do. If you're not sure, don't blow the whistle. They did not that time, which is why the Texans thought they had a touchdown. Instead, it's incomplete and 4th down and 5. Nonetheless, the Texans defense gets the job done, forcing Kern to punt out of his own end zone. Irvin from the 40. And Irvin to midfield, so good field position for the Texans. With 6:39 to go in the 3rd quarter, you're watching the NFL on CBS, your home for Super Bowl 53. Monday, September 24th on CBS. One name says it all, Magnum PI. Don't miss the series premiere 1 week from tomorrow on CBS.
Does he still have that red Ferrari?
You have to tune in on September 24th to find out.
I like that red Ferrari.
So how about the field position here for the Texans, and they have some momentum on their side. Trailing by 7, they've got the ball at their own 48-yard line. Watson to Hopkins. Great catch by DeAndre Hopkins for a gain of 9. We met with him last night, and he says he has a gripper that he uses to strengthen his hands every single day. You can see why.
Well, he is a strong, physical guy, and Malcolm Butler realizes I got to work him at the line of scrimmage so that I can take Deshaun Watson's eyes off of him, that he doesn't come to him right off the bat, but he's also a worker. 6.5 seconds later, still running around down the field.
Lamar Miller gets to the outside and picks up a Houston 1st down. Back to New York, NFL Today update with JB and Coach Cowher.
Hey, Coach, Pat Mahomes is pretty good, huh?
Yeah, how about Patrick Mahomes here? 4th touchdown pass on the day, 2nd to Travis Kelce. He's got 8 now to start this season. They took the lead over Pittsburgh in the track meet, 28-21.
Wow, what a poised young man, Andrew and James.
So impressive, Patrick Mahomes. The keys to that offense, Andy Reid gave it to him, and he's in cruise control early in this season. Watson has some time, now steps up. He's going to keep it himself at the 30. A lot of room to run, and Watson out of bounds with the 1st down at the 21-yard line.
It will be interesting to see if when they watch this film tomorrow, if Deshaun Watson says, man, I left about 10 yards still on the field on that play, because you can slide and protect yourself. You just don't have to run out of bounds to protect yourself.
Since the 1st quarter, Houston has 197 yards of offense. been in a real good groove. Miller trying to keep it going, and Miller inside the 15. Kevin Byard on the stop, but the Texans in the red zone here looking to tie the game with 5 minutes to go in the third.
In the red zone, one of the things that you want to do, you want to make the defense afraid to bump and run, where you can run a short little pick play down there at the bottom.
It's a handoff to Miller again inside the 10. So Lamar Miller has been a spark on this drive for the Texans. And it's 1st and goal for Houston.
And it's interesting you use that spark terminology because he doesn't hesitate when he sees the hole. It is instant speed when he sees an opening.
From the 9-yard line, Watson is under center. Right back to the hot hand Miller, but this time he's hit at the line. Wesley Woodyard, one of the first to get there. It brings up 2nd and goal.
Get some fresh substitutions in on defense. A couple of guys are dragging a little bit along that defensive front. And it's always smart for a defensive coordinator to get guys in fresh, to get them, rotate them a little bit, even within a series. Don't wait till the series is over once they've scored a touchdown. Do it within the series.
Bottom of your screen, Malcolm Butler right at the line with DeAndre Hopkins. It's been a fun matchup to watch all game. Watson dancing in the pocket, buying time. Pressure coming, and Watson just gets rid of it. He throws it away. It was Wesley Woodyard who came in hard on Deshaun Watson.
And you kind of saw a little lull off the line of scrimmage by DeAndre Hopkins at the bottom. He's going half speed a little bit. And then there's a burst where he's hoping to work on the safety to get open, but they still haven't bracketed. Coverage gets to him down the field, and the pressure gets to him at the quarterback level.
Titans fans hoping their defense can limit the Texans to a field goal attempt. It's 3rd and goal, 8th play of the drive. Watson in trouble, ball is out, and it looks like Watson fighting for it on the ground. Who has it? Pete Morelli is right there, and Watson comes away with it. 2nd time today he's recovered his own fumble. It's 4th and goal, and Bill O'Brien will send in his kicker for a field goal attempt.
Sometimes when you are the best athlete playing at your level, whether it's high school or collegiately, you don't do some of the little things. 2 hands on the ball, still that ball a little tighter to the chest as he's trying to look down the field. But a great job by Casey coming in to swipe it away.
And Harold Landry had Watson by the legs. Landry's made some big plays today. The 2nd-round pick out of Boston College. Here's Fairbairn for a 34-yard field goal attempt. Kick on the way, a little breezy here, and it's good. With 2:39 to go in the third quarter, it's 14-10 in favor of the Titans.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sonic. This is how you Sonic. And by FedEx. Possibilities. What we deliver by delivering.
Always a long line at Hattie B's Hot Chicken here in Nashville. We went there Friday night, James. We braved the line, and I was really impressed. Not only did you take down the hot chicken, but you had some peach cobbler for dessert.
Well, I always examine my meals in reverse. And so whatever they have for dessert, I pick that out first and decide, okay, what can I eat leading up to that?
Such a great foodie town here in Nashville. And the hometown Titans have seen their lead cut down to 4. They'll get the ball at the 25-yard line. 2:39 to go, third quarter. Blaine Gabbert coming back out. And you look at the possessions for the Titans today. The first one on a fake punt touchdown.
Yeah, and I won't put an asterisk next to it because they still earned the touchdown.
Well, all you need to know, though, is that the leading passer in terms of yardage today for the Titans is still Kevin Byard, who threw the 66-yard touchdown pass on the fake punt. Blaine Gabbert has thrown for just 51 yards in this game. Last 4 Tennessee possessions, they've run 16 plays and have 30 net yards. So they got to try to get something going here with the Texans picking up some steam in the second half. Gabbert looking to throw. It's a screen pass to Lewis. Gets away from Reader. Now trying to reverse field, and Lewis is hit by Angelo Blackson, the former Titan. As we take a look at those first two possessions, the touchdowns for the Titans.
Craig Aukerman, the special teams coach, drew this one up, and he said, if they get to this look, we're going to snap it short. We've got the pass to the outside. Thing of beauty.
And then Gabbert to Taywan Taylor, who made some great moves here to get in. But since then, not much to speak about for the Titans on offense. And back to the Wildcat. Oh, and it hits Taylor in motion, and then here come the flags.
Yeah, you had your right guard moving a little early.
Matt LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, trying to spark this offense, going back to the Wildcat, which we saw in the first half with Derrick Henry.
False start, number 65 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
They're having a hard time reading these jersey numbers. That's number 64, Josh Klein. Right, go ahead.
Yeah, there is no 65.
65. He should have just said one of those 60 guys.
Titans have new uniforms this year, so.
You know, they are 29% lighter.
I did not
If
know
I
that.
had a jersey that was 29% lighter, I'd have run 4 flat in the 40.
Gabbert in trouble, and Ejiofor's got him. First NFL sack for Duke Ejiofor. We told you Bill O'Brien was excited to see this young man, and how about that, the sack of Gabbert.
Between Matt LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, and Mike Vrabel, the head coach, getting a little nervous now. You know, we just had the drive chart. You've seen where they haven't done anything since the second drive in the first quarter. And now to get pushed backwards, constantly backwards. And we've seen the Texans start to move the ball a little bit offensively in the second half.
You saw Jadeveon Clowney, as we mentioned, out with an elbow injury. It's Ejiofor who's getting extended time in Clowney's absence, and has the sack right there. So it's 3rd and 22. Gabbert, quick pass. Watt nearly knocked that one down, and Rashard Matthews is tackled well short. So another great job by the Texans defense. And some boos here from the fans in Nashville.
Having to throw the ball around J.J. Watt, who has great awareness, even though the tackles went away from him as if they were running the ball on a stretch play to the left. He knew that that quick pass could be coming out to the right. Made the quarterback throw around him, and so he couldn't throw a spot throw, and the runner couldn't just take off and run.
Titans only have 8 yards of offense here in the second half.
See how effective Kern has been punting the ball. He was all pro punter last year and already 52 yards per punt in this ballgame.
Irvin, the deep man. Another good one from Kern. Irvin from his own 31, and tackled immediately. It's Cruikshank who scored the touchdown on the fake punt. Makes a special teams play for Tennessee. Coming up next, our doubleheader day continues with most of you seeing a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Tom Brady and the Patriots against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some of you will see Oakland against Denver. That's right here next on CBS. No Leonard Fournette today for the Jaguars. He's inactive because of injury. And what a game it was last year in the AFC Championship game. We'll see what happens today in the rematch.
I think you could sell the pay-per-view of the plays between Jalen Ramsey and Rob Gronkowski.
That would be fun as Watson in a good groove connects with Jordan Akins. It's good for a Houston first down, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter. Texans with a lot of momentum. They trail by 4. Start of the fourth quarter in Nashville with James Lofton, our producer Steve McKee, director Andy Goldberg. I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us. Since the start of last year, the Texans are just 1-6 in one-score games. Cleveland, the only team worse in that department. They got another tight one here. They trail by 4 at the start of the fourth. Watson out of the shotgun, hands off to Alfred Blue. Blue trying to get to the outside, and Blue with a stiff arm on Logan Ryan, out of bounds just inside Tennessee territory, a gain of 8.
Take advantage of a defensive front that you run them from side to side, and then they're less effective rushing the passer on third downs. Back
to Blue on 2nd and 2. Blue's got the first down, and Runs right at Kevin Byard, but another pickup of 7 this time for Blue. And this Texans offense continues to be in a real nice rhythm.
You know, you get 2 backs, and so they don't have to be distinctly different, but when the second back comes in, he has to have that same energy that your starter had. Blue doing a nice job in wearing this Titans front down.
Stick with him. And the Texans now have rushed for 134 yards today. This is on the heels of 167 last week. So we met with Deshaun Watson last night. He said, look, priority number 1, keep running the football. And number 2, don't force it. Could make the argument that interception was maybe a force, but other than that, I don't think Watson's done that.
Yeah.
So he's stuck to the game plan here today.
This is where the Titans have been impressive when they've had to rush the pass. They put a lot of pressure on.
2nd and 7. Watson looking deep down the left side of the field for Fuller. Fuller has got it! Touchdown, Texans! A 39-yard touchdown from Deshaun Watson to Will Fuller, and Houston has its first lead of the game.
The one small little blemish when you look at Malcolm Butler is that he doesn't have elite cornerback speed. He had to catch up, and there's a little pushing off by Fuller or really stabilizing the corner, let's call it that. But last week, Malcolm Butler gave up a 75-yard touchdown, and here he gives up another deep strike against Will Fuller, who can beat a lot of people in the league deep.
Extra point by Fairbairn is good. Will Fuller now 7 catches, 112 yards, and his first touchdown of the season. For the first time today, the Titans trail the Texans. Will Fuller having a big 2018 debut. 7 catches, 112 yards, and the touchdown from Deshaun Watson. And now the onus goes back on the Tennessee offense, which has really struggled in this half. 3 straight 3-and-outs under the direction of Blaine Gabbert. Jennings back in to receive the kickoff. And it's a touchback. How about the day for Will Fuller, Mr. Lofton?
Well, you can line up off of him and give him throws in front of you and say, okay, we're okay with that. We're okay with the 15-yard out, with the 16-yard hook. And then you decide to get up and press coverage. And you go, uh-oh, we don't want the ball being thrown over our head. No defensive back wants that at all. And you take that chance. I guess that hamstring's feeling a lot better than it did last week.
Sure does. His 4th 100-yard receiving game in his career. 90 yards receiving here in the second half. Derrick Henry at running back on 1st and 10 from the 25. It's a play fake. J.J. Watt is coming. Misses Gabbert. Gabbert on the run. Completes it to Stocker. Out of bounds right around the chains. Back to New York. NFL Today update with JB and Bill Cowher.
Frank Gore moving up the ranks.
Frank Gore, 35 years old, his 14th year. This 8-yard run puts him 4th all-time, just passing Curtis Martin. Frank Gore, when I was a head coach coming out of Miami, Florida, we thought he had an injury to his knees. He was a short-termer. Boy, he proved everybody wrong.
Operative word,
Unsportsmanlike
short-termer.
conduct.
Back to Andrew
On
Catalon.
a member of the bench from the Houston bench, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Wow, tack on 15 more on the Houston bench.
Did they run into Clowney, or is Clowney just over there? It's not much of a bump.
No, but then there's some words.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
That's a killer. I mean, you can't do that.
Now to start that play off, J.J. Watt had him on the bootleg, let him escape outside. Gabbert, nice throw on the move, and then tack on the 15 yards by Clowney. Now they've crossed midfield.
Penalties continue to haunt the Texans today. It's Henry on 1st down. Trying to get to the outside. Chased by Joseph. Henry wins that matchup and out of bounds. Forced out by Justin Reed.
For a big man, 247 pounds, the agility is there. And I think he learned a little bit of this stiff arm from DeMarco Murray, who was so effective with a stiff arm out in the open field.
7-yard pickup for Henry. Second down and 3 with Davis in motion. They pitch it to Henry. Henry hit hard by DJ Reader. How about this hit?
Yeah, DJ Reader says you guys are going to have to earn this on third down. You're going to try and run that toss sweep. Not happening on this down. See, third, and this is a long 3. Got to drop back, throw the ball. J.J. Watt positions himself outside. He's ready to come after the quarterback. And he knows that this ball is going to come out quickly. So watch him get his hands up at the tail end of it.
Titans continue to use Dion Lewis as that third down running back. He's in there with Henry on the sideline. Third and 3. Gabbert over the middle in traffic, and the catch is made by Tajae Sharpe. Remarkable grab in traffic. It's good for a Titans first down. And they want to hustle up to the line, try to keep this rhythm going. 14-yard pickup. Gabbert, quick pass, incomplete. Matthews took a big hit from Jonathan Joseph. Now let's go back to that previous catch by Sharpe.
And they got up and they got going because this is close as to whether it comes out. Can't see much of the ball there. It's really tight, and it wouldn't have been a good review on either side to call that a non-catch.
Lewis remains in on second down and 10. Jonnu Smith, the motion man. Lewis right up the middle, tripped up by J.J. Watt. Watt getting in the backfield quickly. He told us first half last week I was rusty, but second half I felt pretty good.
Well, he's so good at knifing into people and lowering his weight, dipping his shoulders and coming around the corner. You know, we always forget how big he is until he walks in the room like he did yesterday. That custom-made suit looked like it was just sprayed on him.
I don't forget how big he is every time he comes in the room. He's made 5 tackles now today, and it's third down. Titans bench says the play clock should be reset.
Well, there's a little scuffle at the end of the play, and
Yeah.
they're probably going to let it bleed down and call a timeout.
They got to call timeout.
Yeah. When you start scuffling and pushing and asking about somebody's off-season plans for travel,
30-second timeout.
you run out of time for the next play.
It'll be third down and 11. And James, Mike Vrabel, we met with him Friday. He said to everyone, the local media and to us, you're probably going to see both quarterbacks on Sunday. You're going to see Gabbert, you're going to see Mariota.
That's if you bring your binoculars and come to the game.
Look,
there they are, both of them.
They're both there.
Yeah.
Mariota's active, but if he was healthy enough, you would have seen him by now.
You've got to play the game. And as the head coach, you don't come out in the middle of the week and say, we really need to be able to throw the ball deep this week. No, you kind of play it as close to the vest as you can over all the issues. Now you've got 2 quarterbacks. You don't have to talk about who's not going to be able to go. You list the practice reports. Everybody knew that Mariota was limited at practice at best on Friday. And that's all you have to tell everybody.
Third down and 11. Watt was coming. Gabbert gets rid of it quickly to Davis. And he's wrapped up at the 24-yard line, short of a first down.
Play for field goal range. Take the safe completion, get the ball out of your hands quickly. You don't let J.J. Watt wreck the series by getting a sack, strip, fumble type of play. Now you have a chance to kick a field goal and get this thing knotted up again.
It's a 42-yard attempt for Ryan Suckup, who was 2 for 2 a week ago in Miami. First field goal attempt today for the veteran kicker. Suckup's kick is good. And with 9:43 to go in the fourth, we are all tied at 17.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And by the well-connected 2019 Lincoln MKC.
Hot day in Nashville, 9:43 to go in the fourth quarter. We are tied at 17. with the Texans about to get the ball back, suck up the game-tying field goal. Remember, a big part of that drive was the penalty on Jadeveon Clowney, who's not even playing today. He's out with an elbow injury. Proved costly as Suckup was able to take advantage with that field goal. And a touchback. Houston will start at the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson, 16 to 23, 231 yards, 2 touchdown passes and 1 interception, but he has been red hot ever since a slow start. Crowd back into this one. An AFC South showdown between the Texans and Titans here on CBS. On first down, Lamar Miller maybe gets a yard. Terrell Casey in on the tackle for this Tennessee defense.
When you commit to running the football like the Houston Texans talk about doing, you've got to be able to do it on 1st and 10. You pick up 1 yard on 2nd and 9. You've probably got to be able to do it again on 2nd and 9. You spread the defense out with 3 wide receivers. You try and run against that box.
Watson, nowhere to go. Good coverage downfield. He'll keep it himself. Jumps over a tackler and gets out of bounds with a first down. Great moves by Deshaun Watson. It's a gain of 12.
You know, you always hear about the young quarterbacks who are coming into the league and that they're athletic. And really what that one word means is that they have speed. Marcus Mariota, 4.48 in the 40. Deshaun Watson, 4.64 at the combine. But you watch him play, he plays much faster than that with his play speed when it's time to run and get away from the rush.
Watson has 44 yards rushing today. Great protection here. He's got all day. What's he going to do? Over the middle, wide open Ellington, first down into Tennessee territory. And Ellington smacked down by Kenny Vaccaro, but a big pickup of 23.
You just cannot cover for that long. You had a deep square out run by Ellington. You had a post pattern run by Will Fuller. And then Ellington ends up coming back inside. So great job in staying active by the Texans receivers.
Ball at the 39-yard line. Quick pass. Watson to Fuller. And Fuller is wrapped up by Byard. Back to New York. NFL Today update with JB and Bill Cowher.
Luck. Plenty of luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck finds T.Y. Hilton from 3 yards out. They take a 21-9 lead over Washington. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdowns on the day. Great to see Deshaun Watson back. Also great to see Andrew Luck back.
Back to our Andrew Catalon.
All right, guys, we saw Luck last week. We thought he looked good, and he's continued that today as Hopkins has the catch. And the tackle made after a pickup of 1. Logan Ryan on the stop for the Titans defense.
2 plays run right at the line of scrimmage. Those RPO, the run pass option. The offensive line is blocking run. And before they get downfield too far, you throw the ball to the outside because you don't want to go with the run. But if they are engaged with a defensive lineman, they could be blocking that guy 10 yards down the field, and it wouldn't be illegally down the field as a blocker.
From here, it would be a 55-yard field goal. Texans trying to convert on 3rd down and 8. Pressure coming. Watson hit as he throws. Another deep shot down the sideline, incomplete. And once again, tip your cap to the rookie Harold Landry, who's made a big impact in this game on defense for Tennessee.
When we talked to Brian Arakpo, he said he was so excited about watching Harold Landry because he has that unique first step. You can see the pressure there. You see the tail end of the play. Nice job by Malcolm Butler on the other end, covering down the field.
So Fairbairn, the kicker, missed from 54 earlier in the game, and Bill O'Brien decides not to send him out for a 55-yard attempt. Instead, trying to pin the Titans deep with the punter Trevor Daniel. End over end kick, Daniel. And too far into the end zone. That does not work out well for the Texans. 6:41 to go in the fourth quarter, and while we were away, a flag came out. We still have not heard the announcement from Pete Morelli, today's referee.
Well, it looks like it was a 5-yard penalty, which would have just been tacked on to the end of
During
the play.
the kick, there was an illegal touch by number 25 of the kicking team.
He was the first to touch.
By rule, that is a 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the spot from the 20 to 25. First down, Tennessee.
So the penalty on the Texans been a big problem for them today. It gives Tennessee 5 extra yards as Bill O'Brien's just shaking his head with all these penalties.
I wonder, on a kickoff, you put it into the end zone, they put it at the 25, but on a punt, bring it back to the 20.
10 penalties, 83 yards for the Texans as Deion Lewis has some room, and Lewis a first down run. Justin Reed on the tackle, but Lewis breaks free for 13.
First big run of the game for the Titans. You run away from J.J. Watt, you keep on that course, and it's just a great job of getting a hat on a hat and running away from number 99.
Longest run today by the Titans. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Kendall block! Kendall block!
Back to Lewis. And he gets a yard.
His shoe comes off, yeah.
That's a reason for Derrick Henry to come back in. You look at Blaine Gabbert, 11 for 18, 85 yards, and a touchdown pass. He's never defeated Houston in his career. He's 0-5 all time. 4 of those came with the Jaguars. And last year he lost to Houston as a member of the Cardinals. But he hits Corey Davis here, out of bounds in Houston territory. It's good for a Titans first down, a pickup of 13.
You gotta like everything that he did on that play. After the play action fake, he's going to his left, so he has to flip his hips all the way around to be able to throw the ball out front. And Corey Davis, you see the sprint mode he was going in to get across the field, to know that he had to get in the vision of his quarterback, catch that ball, and wide open.
Five minutes to go, tied at 17. Derrick Henry up the middle, and ahead of steam all the way up to the 41-yard line, pickup of 7.
I would wait until the Titans break the huddle to show them where I'm going to put J.J. Watt. I'd line him up right over the middle of the ball, and when you break the huddle, move him one time to the right, one time to the left, so that they just can't call plays to stay away from him.
Derrick Henry now has 51 yards rushing. When he rushes for at least 50 yards in his career, the Titans are 12-0. And that time he adds 1 more to his total. Stopped right at the sticks.
A couple things come into play now for Bill O'Brien, who's watching this clock tick down. How much time are we going to have on the clock at the tail end of this drive for the Titans?
Henry was short, so it's 3rd and 1.
Nike!
Gabbert keeps it himself. Did that on 4th down, and this time it looks like with that spot he's got it, but we'll have to wait and see. Texans defense indicating it's 4th down, but Pete Morelli begs to differ. It's a first down.
I would say that that is the toughest play to officiate, that quarterback sneak, because you don't see the ball. Some quarterbacks occasionally will stick that ball out in front of themselves and then pull it back. But when the quarterback pulls the ball back and he just starts to lean forward, you can't tell where the ball is.
6 plays on this drive so far. 5 have come on the ground for the Titans. And now 3:20 to go. Deion Lewis up the middle, and he gets a couple. Now, James, you mentioned it. If you're Bill O'Brien, do you start using your timeouts here?
You've got to do it once you have a successful second down. And by that, I mean, now you put them in a third and in a longer situation. You know that they're going to have to pass the ball. And if it's incomplete, then that stops the clock. If it's complete and they don't get the first down, then you got a chance to use another timeout. But you're getting close to the 2-minute warning down here.
It's 2nd down and 7. J.J. Watt hoping to make a play on defense here for the Texans. He's had another nice game today. It's a play fake. Gabbert, and it's knocked down. Gabbert catches it. He's on the run. Now he just throws it away, and there's the flag. Did not do that. So big penalty here on the Titans.
Now, I cannot remember if this foul is from the line of scrimmage or if it's a spot foul. It's a loss of down.
Loss of down. Remember last year in the playoffs, Mariota caught the deflection and went in for a touchdown in Kansas City.
Maybe that's what Gabbert was thinking.
And we all wait for Pete Morelli.
It's just a play that you don't see very often. You know, something you see a quarterback or a lineman catch the ball and then they run with it, but you don't see a quarterback attempt that second pass. And see, I saw Bill O'Brien pointing backwards as if to say, is it a spot foul or is it going back to the line of scrimmage? Because he throws it right there from the 45-yard line, which is where 2 flags are, and there's an official who's kind of stationed himself right at the point of the foul.
It was a great play by Brennan Scarlett, and here's Pete Morelli.
Illegal forward pass. Number 7 threw 2 balls, 2 passes on the same play behind the line of scrimmage. By rule, there's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
See, that's really not that severe of a penalty, because he's going to lose 12 yards on this play if he just gets tackled right there. So by doing that, there's a net of 7 yards that he ends up with. I know that's a lot of math. I had to write it down during the break.
I think that was part of the confusion for Bill O'Brien, who wanted an explanation.
Yeah. Bill O'Brien is hoping that during the offseason he's on the competition committee and they'll get this changed to loss of down.
And he still wants an explanation. He's saying it should be 3rd down. It should be a loss of down. O'Brien, he threw the ball twice.
You hear everybody yelling from the sideline, it should be a loss of down.
It should be a loss of down. I agree with Bill O'Brien. It looks like he's going to lose this argument. And it's 2nd down and 12. It's Davis, has some room. Davis cuts it up the middle of the field inside the 30 and still going. Davis spins and he loses the football. Ball comes out, still on the ground now, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Titans. What a wacky game this has been from Nashville.
Davis doing a great job weaving through traffic. You got to make sure you got that ball high and tight. Everybody's trying to get the ball out. J.J. Watt is the man on the tackle when the ball does come out. And under 5 minutes in the 4th quarter, if that ball goes forward, it comes back to the spot where it was fumbled, because Davis is the only one who can recover that ball for a net gain after that.
Well, our rules analyst, Gene Steratore, just told us from New York that Bill O'Brien was wrong. It should not have been a loss of down, and that Pete Morelli correctly assessed the penalty. So that's coming from Gene Steratore back in New York.
Because it's such a rare play, I think players, coaches who are involved in the game, you always think that that's going to be a loss of down.
And Gene is now back in New York. Gene, can you provide some clarity here for our game in Nashville?
Yeah, guys, a illegal forward pass from beyond the original line of scrimmage carries a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the pass. For a second forward pass from behind the line or a forward pass that was thrown after the ball returned behind the line of scrimmage, we only have a loss of 5 yards from the previous spot. So Pete Morelli is correct.
So if he had crossed the line of scrimmage, then he would have lost the down.
Had he let go of that pass beyond the original line of scrimmage, the flag would be the spot of the foul, and it would go 5 yards from that spot, and it would also carry a loss of down, yes.
Gene, great job. We appreciate you helping us out. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Tied at 17. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, enjoyed by giant blue fictional knights everywhere.
Two minutes to go here in Nashville in regulation. Stay tuned for the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut, time permitting. Titans have it 2nd and 8 from the 20-yard line, well within field goal range. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Houston with just 1 timeout to go. It's a handoff to Derrick Henry. Flag is down. Henry inside the 15. And now let's see what the penalty is. McKinney and Cunningham on the tackle.
You move J.J. Watt to the other side. They hold him on that side, or maybe even the Texans offsides. But J.J. Watt getting penetration there. So he gets 2nd down again, which you bleed more time off the clock.
Number 57, lined up in the neutral zone, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down. Houston will not be charged a timeout.
It's on Brennan Scarlett, now 11 penalties for 88 yards against the Texans. Last week they had 6 for 44, but a different story today and a big part of this game. 2nd down and 3. The ball is at the 15. Henry. And Henry pushed back. Cunningham and McKinney again. And Bill O'Brien has called his final timeout with 1:49 to go.
And you're in that desperation time zone right now where you're looking at the clock, and the Titans have a chance, if they get a 1st down here, to take this thing down to, 4 seconds to go on the clock and kick the game-winning field goal.
Yep, Henry came up a yard short, so 3rd down and 1.
When I was coaching with the Chargers, we had a call on defense called freeway. You allow Tennessee to score a touchdown. You do that right here with 1:49. They run in the end zone. You got 1:42 on the clock. Then you have to respond with a touchdown. You're much more likely to score a touchdown than you are to kick a field goal. You get the ball back with less than 20 seconds to play.
We've seen Gabbert twice just keep it himself. Once on 4th and 1, once on 3rd and 1. This time he hands it off to Dion Lewis, spins forward.
He looked like he was short.
That looks to be a little short.
Well, he's not tall, but he looked like he was short on the run.
Again, they continue to use Lewis in 3rd down situations, even though you got that big bruiser Henry, who can typically pick up a yard, and they are indicating it is 4th down.
Well, like Lewis said to us, he said he's been this size his whole life, and he said he realizes that it's tough to see him behind the big lineman, but when you've got extra guys up in the gap and nobody's playing a pass, they were able to stop Lewis short of the 1st down.
So Mike Vrabel is going to use some clock and then call a timeout. And the clock stopped with 1:05 to go. So Ryan Succop will come out. He has made 46 straight field goals from inside 40 yards. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. And if he can keep that streak alive, he will give the Titans the lead by 3.
J.J. Watt lined up between the center and the right guard, trying to get a good quick swim move and then get his hands up.
A 31-yard attempt for Succop. Brett Kern is the holder. Kick is up on the way and good. And with 1:01 to go, the Titans have regained the lead 20-17. Deshaun Watson will get one last chance to try to at least get the Texans into field goal range. And he does not have any timeouts to work with. As you see, Succop, it's now 47 in a row from inside 40 yards.
At the beginning of this drive, middle of the field is open. Sideline should be closed more than 10 or 15 yards down the field. You shouldn't allow a deep 20-yard out or anything like that. So you've got to work that middle of the field. And then after that, really, you've got to hustle up and be able to spike the ball after long completions.
And you see it, we showed you earlier, the Texans 1-6 in one-score games going back to the beginning of last year. Each of their last 5 have been decided by one score. And again, here within 3, but only a minute to go. That was a clutch drive by the Titans. 12 plays, 67 yards. It took up 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Succop with a touchback. So now it's Deshaun Watson's turn. 1 minute to go. No timeouts. Has to try to get in field goal range. Fairbairn's career long is 55 yards. So far today, Watson 19 of 27, 256 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's looking for his first ever game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or overtime.
You want to be able to tackle on the back end, and that rookie Harold Landry is up top against your left tackle.
Watson, and it's nearly intercepted. Malcolm Butler broke on it beautifully. Watson was looking for DeAndre Hopkins. It's second down.
Well, that was not the old prevent defense where you're going to line up 15 yards off and allow them to get that little easy out. Malcolm Butler's going, not on my watch.
They were looking sideline on that play. Remember, no timeouts. Cannot stop the clock. Watson dumps it off to Miller, makes a nice catch, and then trips at the 28. And the Texans will have to hurry. 45 seconds to go, and it's third down. They need 34 yards to get into field goal range. Would be a 55-yarder for Fairbairn. Right now, it's 3rd and 6. Good protection. Watson over the middle. Caught by Hopkins. It's a Texans first down to the 48. They got to hurry.
Yeah, get up and spike this ball to stop the clock.
19-yard gain. Watson under center, and he spikes it, stopping the clock with 17 seconds to go. They need about 15 more yards to give Fairbairn a look.
So you do have a chance. A similar play, throwing the ball over the middle to DeAndre Hopkins. You've got a chance. Fairbairn, 54 yards, was just a little short. That's going in the other direction where he's kicking into just the tiniest of breezes. There's a little wind at their back right now.
And the Titans have called timeout. That's their final timeout with 17 seconds to go, just to give their defensive players a chance to rest up. This was earlier in the game. Fairbairn had a 54-yard attempt. It was on line, but just short. His 55-yarder came last year, a career long. He attended UCLA. His career long with the Bruins was 60 yards. And he's hoping to get a chance here. And James, you think they still can use the middle of the field here?
I think they can use the middle of the field. You're talking about from throw to catch is about 8 seconds, and then sprint up to the line of scrimmage and spike that ball. And you're talking about 1-2 seconds on the clock.
From the 48-yard line, Watson with all day. Now flushed out. Thought about a deep shot in the end zone, nowhere to go. Watson with 5 seconds. Now he has to throw it. Middle of the field, Hopkins, it's too late. And that'll do it. Watson does not throw the ball away or run out of bounds, and the game is over. Mike Vrabel has his first win as a head coach. Just a stunning ending to a wacky game. And the Titans escape with a 20-17 win. Wow, a big mistake by Deshaun Watson, and now the Texans are 0-2. 20-17 the final. Titans win. For James Lofton, this is Andrew Catalon saying so long.